Here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update about what's been going on with my defective Z Fold 3. Now, if you caught my previous video, you already know that my Wi-Fi radio stopped working. My phone has never been dropped. It's never gotten wet. It doesn't have a single scratch on it. It's lived its entire existence in a case since it arrived from Samsung. And essentially, Samsung told me to send it in after failing to do anything in terms of troubleshooting. I also tried myself flashing the firmware. Didn't help at all. And I then got a call from the repair center telling me that I had liquid damage, my warranty was voided, and they were going to charge $100 just to proceed with determining what else might be wrong with the device. So I went to Samsung Care Plus, and they assured me they were going to send me a brand new device. Instead, they shipped me this. By the way, this is a case, obviously, Spigen, the ThinFit P and Neo Hybrid back, but it was refurbished, and they had guaranteed me a brand new device. So that was really disappointing. I reached back out to them, and the hassle just became more and more of a pain in the butt, frankly. And I had been using this, my Z Fold 2, which also is in brand new condition, works perfectly. And I was actually contemplating getting rid of the Z Fold 3 altogether. And many of you had said to me, why don't I just reach out to PR at Samsung? Now, I don't have a formal relationship with them, nor do I like to throw in any company's face that I'm a YouTuber and this is potentially a bad situation for them, because that's, I'm not here to threaten anybody, but I did reach out just to see what kind of response I would get. And essentially, about a day and a half later, I did get a response, and they formally apologized for what I was going through and assured me they were going to rectify the situation. So I was really happy to hear that, and this arrived today. Now, what they assured me was that they would be sending me a brand new 0.5 terabyte unlocked device. Of course, I've got to send back the refurb, which is not an issue at all. But I was to the point where I was thinking about just going back to my Z Fold 2 and living my life. Now, they said because of what I went through, the overall inconvenience, they also included another device to check out. And maybe this is the beginning of a relationship with them. It is for review, so I was happy to hear that. And I'm going to share that with all of you today in this update. So basically, this is, a bad situation that has gotten better in my estimation. I mean, the fact that they are standing behind their product, which they weren't doing from the beginning, which was very disturbing, as you might imagine, for what amounts to a nearly $2,000 device. So now here to be getting something that should make up for it, not only getting the replacement I deserve since my phone was in perfect condition, and I don't trust what Samsung's factory could do to it. Here we have this care package. So let's see. First and foremost, we've got the new Z Fold 3, which, I anticipated. This is expected because, well, they had to give me a new phone to replace a defective piece of equipment that they've been dragging me through the mud. So this is great, excited. And, now no concerns anymore about should I jump ship. And by jump ship, I don't mean dump Samsung, but stop using the Z Fold. And then the other device, which they told me about, but I've yet to actually get my hands on, is this right here. Now, what they told me was that, of course, everyone remembers the Note 7 debacle from years past. And they said what they have started doing, I mean, many of you are familiar, I'm sure, with the fan edition models that they continue to roll out year after year. This essentially is the beginning of what they're calling the fan edition throwback. And so what you see here, of course, per the packaging, says that it is a Galaxy Note 7. Some of you may remember this model from, well, it was a debacle. They were exploding. And I actually, had the pleasure or displeasure, however you look at it, of having one of those back in the day. Of course, I had to ship it back because it did start to swell. It was explosive, like most Note 7s. Well, not everybody had an explosive one. But here, we've got the fan edition. And this is exciting because this was, back in the day, this was a device that I thought was going to be one of the best phones ever made. Let's see how I open this. And I never got the chance to actually enjoy this. So here, now we've got another. Now, I don't know when retail availability will begin for this device. I don't know how many they're making. So before you start asking questions, let's keep this real, shall we? So here's the device. It looks just like it did at launch. Pretty much the same. The original physical button that Samsung was known for. We still have a forehead and chin. And, of course, we still have an S Pen pocketed. This is really unique. I don't know how many of these they've shipped out to other YouTubers, but it's still interesting, and that's why I wanted to share it with all of you. I mean, when they wrote this email to me, I was kind of surprised because I had zero expectations. You can see we've got a power button there on the side, and then on the other side of the phone, we have two buttons. I'm assuming that's the volume rocker. Again, this is eerily similar to the original. Camera on the back right there. I'm not sure about internal specifications. I don't know if they actually threw a flagship in here. That's something I'm only going to know once I start to use it, benchmark it. But, you know, from looks and appearances, this is still a really nice device. I mean, I remember the Note 7 like it was yesterday. I think that was 2016, correct me if I'm wrong. And I wanted this to be my daily driver, so this is pretty exciting. No question about it. Let's see what else we have in the box. And seems like we've got some accessories, some paperwork. Take a look at that. But yeah, this was the phone that got away for many of us, you know, that's what I feel like. So yeah, just some paperwork there, nothing too interesting. And then we have accessories. So first and foremost, our wall charger. It is a quick charger. Again, I don't know what it's rated at, but we're going to find out. Then we have an adapter for micro to Type-C. That's because, well, frankly, you know, for those of you that remember, this was pretty much very similar to the original package. Then we have another adapter, which is a Type-A to Type-C. I mean, boy, does this make you remember how things used to be once upon a time, right? We used to get so many accessories, and I think that's part of what Samsung's push here is about. Now, if I had to guess, I'm going to say that this is probably going to be fairly expensive. Because, again, this is not a device for a typical user. Here is your charging cable. This is a Type A to Type-C, and that's because that brick is a Type A brick, I'm assuming. Yep, there you can see it right there. And then not last but not least, let me move these accessories out of the way. We've got some pen tip replacements. So, I mean, this is pretty true to form, I have to say, when you look at it. And then they've even included something that absolutely has gone away that reminds me of the heyday of Samsung, actual headphones. Because, of course, this device does have, if I didn't mention that, the old, trusty, reliable 3.5mm headphone jack, the way it should be, frankly. So I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, it's a long time coming. This is something that, you know, you thought Samsung would want to stay away from because of the reputation that the Note 7 garnered, but I have to say, it seems like a logical thing. They've been doing these fan editions over and over again, and they're usually pretty lackluster. I mean, they're just stripped down versions, you know, lower price point. But to me, a true fan edition is something like this, where we get a device back in all of its glory that we all wanted and couldn't have. I mean, that is what a fan edition is really all about. So I'm going to, you know, charge this up. Actually, I'll stop right here. I think you put it together by now. Hopefully you did. This is not a fan edition. I'm not going to charge this up. This was a replacement device that I got, and I've held on to because, after all, it is a bit of a keepsake for me of a phone that was once a great device, but the fact that it was so explosive meant that none of us would ever come to enjoy it. It's April Fool's. I don't usually do this. Occasionally I do. It all depends, you know, how much I'm interested in something like this, but I felt like this was appropriate, especially because Samsung is putting me through a bit of hell right now. Anyone who knows, well, you know. So while this part of the video is bogus, and of course there is no new Note 7, no fan edition or any of that crap that I was saying, this is a brand new Z Fold, and well, I'll have another video detailing exactly what has happened with my Z Fold 3, because that part of the video, of course, the fact that I've got a defective one and Samsung has been making me run around in circles, you know, that all is true. I shouldn't say was true. However, I did not ever reach out to Samsung corporate, so this part of it, well, hopefully all of you enjoyed this little gag from me. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them at that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.